and they put out signature Caitlin Clark balls and other merch that literally sold out within minutes of them going live.
Nike is currently actively promoting Caitlin Clark on a number of channels after finally recognizing her as the WNBA star. Nike increased Caitlin Clark's promotion due to recent controversy, which left A.A. Wilson dissatisfied. Some fans continue to contend that A.A. is the best player in the league.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when A'ja was releasing a shoe were we talking about Caitlin Clark?
A.A.
Wilson feels that she is the major attraction and should receive the most publicity, but the statistics on fan interactions sadly indicate different.
So there's a mindset that A'ja has to adopt to justify getting treatment she knows she doesn't deserve.
Although A.A. Wilson has been this year's finest player, her marketing resonance isn't as powerful. Caitlin Clark's merchandise sells out fast, whereas A's products often go unrecognized, showcasing the stark difference in their marketability and fan engagement.
A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Well, she has come out and she has made some more comments, and it is like these players just don't want these new fans, even though the new fans are the ones that drive the revenue, plain and simple.
A.A. Wilson still believes she can compete with Caitlin Clark, but Nike's pledge to provide her more opportunities hasn't materialized. As Caitlin keeps shining, it's clear that A.A. is finding it difficult to cope with the strain and highlight.
Your play on the court doesn't always equate to how many shoes you will sell.
Despite A.A. Wilson's attempts to overshadow her, Nike is now stepping up its marketing of Caitlin Clark, acknowledging her as the WNBA's actual star. This is a fantastic move for the brand, demonstrating a commitment to Caitlin's talent and marketability. Hopefully, A.A. won't attempt to undermine Caitlin's achievements as she did a few weeks ago.
Noise that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say.
Nike initially backed A.A. Wilson as their main representative in the WNBA. However, as Caitlin Clark's fan base skyrocketed, Nike couldn't ignore her rising popularity. Conversations about Clark flooded social media, sports news, and even reached casual basketball fans who previously overlooked the WNBA, recognizing that this wasn't just a fleeting trend, but a significant shift in women's basketball. Nike understood the urgency of collaborating with Clark to seize a great opportunity and secure their place in the evolving landscape of women's sports.
And it led a bunch of these players to get very jealous and petty very quickly.
For A.A. Wilson, this change felt like a personal betrayal rather than merely a commercial choice. After making large investments on Wilson as their reliable star, Nike was originally reluctant to take big action, but as time went on, this reticence began to wane. Caitlin Clark led a movement in addition to being a gifted athlete. Young fans in particular gravitated toward her, viewing her as a role model. Nike identified this as a golden opportunity in the end. It became evident to Nike that supporting Clark aligned with their vision for the future of women's basketball, which led them to pivot their marketing strategy. Young fans are extremely valuable to a brand like Nike because of their loyalty, frequent merchandise purchases, and ability to influence peers and family. This is something A.A. Wilson simply couldn't offer.
Somebody coming along and elevating the sport shine ultimately benefits you. Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting.
As Caitlin Clark's popularity soared, Nike had to confront the undeniable truth. She was rapidly becoming one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports. While her on-court performance played a significant role in this rise, Nike recognized that her appeal extended far beyond traditional basketball fans. Nike decided to completely invest in advertising Clark as the WNBA's face after she became well-known and sparked discussions in a variety of circles, making her crossover appeal extremely beneficial for the company.
We saw the jersey sales numbers. We didn't actually see the actual numbers, but we saw the top jersey sales in the WNBA this season. And A'ja, despite being a third-time MVP, her jersey sales were 5th in the league, even after Kate Martin, who barely saw the court the second half of this season.
This was a turning point for Nike because they realized they needed to change their approach because Caitlin Clark was gaining new fans, drawing in a variety of demographics and creating an excitement that was hard to duplicate. When Nike sees a rising star like Clark, they know it's time to make a calculated move, so they started directing their promotional efforts toward her, a move that naturally didn't sit well with Asia. Wilson couldn't stop the feeling of jealousy surrounding Clark's rapid ascent. It wasn't just about the increased attention Clark was receiving. Wilson believed she had rightfully earned the spotlight, only to have it seemingly snatched.
She's the Tim Duncan of the WNBA. Doesn't sell shoes, doesn't drive TV ratings. That's not what he does. That's who Asia Wilson is. But she has to adopt this mindset of, I'm owed this, and you white girls need to back your ass up while I get what's owed to me. It's all just it's endless reparation.
Wilson felt that Caitlin Clark had not experienced the same hardships and difficulties that she had. Wilson hinted at this in her public remarks, suggesting that factors other than basketball talent were responsible for Clark's meteoric rise. This public back and forth started to damage Wilson's reputation as a modest and diligent star who let her performance speak for itself. Her comments about Clark suddenly came across as resentful, and disgruntled admirers who had previously supported her started to doubt Wilson's ability to cope with the pressure of sharing the limelight with another up-and-coming star. This change in perception wasn't good for Wilson.
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say it's not really about me. She knows how her privilege has gotten her to that.
Caitlin Clark's rise to fame went beyond her basketball prowess. It was her special ability to connect with fans that set her apart. Every time she took the court, there was an air of anticipation surrounding her because fans felt that something magical could happen at any time, compelling them to tune in game after game. This strong connection Clark built with her fans was crucial to her marketability because people didn't just want to watch her play. They wanted to be a part of her journey. They sought out her jerseys, followed her on social media, and looked for ways to support her. This kind of steadfast fan loyalty is extremely uncommon, and it attracted the attention of.
Is Asia Wilson currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if Asia Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlin Clark would outsell Asia's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the case.
Fans were obviously enamored with Caitlin Clark, and Nike saw this as a huge business opportunity that they couldn't afford to ignore the real game. Nike started releasing products associated with Clark, and the response was nothing short of phenomenal. Jerseys bearing her name were flying off the shelves, and even basic merchandise like posters and t-shirts quickly sold out. Fans had eagerly anticipated Clark's custom shoe, though, and when Nike hinted at creating a shoe bearing her name, excitement reached unprecedented heights. It was widely believed that the shoe would sell out in a matter of minutes after it was formally released. Every step of the way, Clark's devoted and enthusiastic fanbase was eager to buy anything bearing her name for Asia. Wilson, this SDK comparison was challenging. When Nike released her signature shoe, the reaction fell short of the expectations set by Clark's fervent following. While Wilson had a loyal fan base, it didn't match the same level of enthusiasm or engagement that Clark had cultivated. Wilson's merchandise sales were steady, but nowhere near the sellout numbers that Clark was generating. This disparity was a pivotal factor in Nike's decision to shift their promotional focus. It was just a business decision, motivated by market forces. It wasn't personal.
Y'all stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right, and it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlin. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite uncle a jersey with your autograph on it. And
Brands wanted this level of commercial success, which is why Nike could no longer ignore Caitlin Clark. They realized that increasing their marketing of her would result in more sales and greater brand awareness, which were crucial elements that eventually influenced their choice for AA. Wilson, this shift was a tough pill to swallow. Despite her tremendous achievements on the court, her apparel sales simply couldn't compete with Clark's, and in the cutthroat world of sports marketing, that disparity is what actually matters. As one of the biggest brands in the world, Nike doesn't make snap judgments. So their decision to shift their focus from Wilson to Clark wasn't taken carelessly. Instead, it was the result of careful analysis and strategic planning. For years, Maine and Wilson had a close friendship, but when they saw Clark's explosive growth, it became evident that this was a chance they could not pass up, even though players like Angel Reese openly supported Wilson. Caitlin Clark had emerged as the key star for Nike, forcing Wilson to take a step back. This transition shows the harsh realities of sports marketing, where commercial feasibility often outweighs personal loyalty.
What do you think about her shoe? Sorry.
I love her shoe. I'm so happy for her. I mean, she's deserved it.
Yeah.
Asia has been somebody that's inspired me, not just on the court, but off the court. And as a Black woman, her story, being from South Carolina and everything behind that. So I'm super happy for her. I wish if I could wear Nike, I would definitely wear her shoe.
From Nike's point of view, this change had nothing to do with picking one player over another or deeming Caitlin Clark superior to AIA Wilson. Rather, it was all about the numbers. Clark was attracting more fans, generating more excitement, and eventually generating more revenue. Nike realized that they had to take advantage of this opportunity, which meant reallocating their promotional resources to support Clark. This was a calculated business decision, plain and simple, but Wilson found this transition to be extremely difficult. She had been the face of Nike's WNBA campaigns for years, and now it seemed as though they were moving on without her. However, from Nike's perspective, this was the company's natural evolution, and investing in Clark was crucial for the brand's continued growth. Wilson's dissatisfaction was apparent, and it showed in her reactions, reflecting the emotional toll of a fast-changing landscape.
Seriously? The arrogance. People are going to consume what they want to consume and who they want to consume, whether you like it or not, and it's not up to Asia Wilson to let anybody do anything.
For Wilson, AA Nike's strategic shift was more than just a business decision. It was a deeply personal moment. She had dedicated herself to building her brand around her relationship with Nike, and when they began to prioritize Caitlin Clark, it felt as if all her hard work was being overlooked. The frustration and hurt were palpable for Wilson. Wilson's partnership with Nike had always been strong. She had represented the brand with pride, for years serving as the face of major campaigns and embracing her leadership role in the WNBA. However, the harsh reality was that her merchandise sales didn't reflect her on-court talent. Despite being a top player, she struggled to translate that success into marketability. In contrast, Caitlin Clark embodied both exceptional athleticism and commercial appeal, making her a dual threat. This stark distinction highlighted Wilson's challenge that being a great player doesn't always translate into stardom, which is where Clark shone.
She's got one of the hottest selling jerseys in sports, y'all. According to Fanatics, led by the one and only Michael Rubin, Clark's Indiana Fever jersey is apparently sold out in all sizes. It was rumored that she actually outsold Dallas Cowboy jersey.
Caitlin Clark's ascension to prominence has caused a ripple effect throughout the WNBA, improving both her career and the entire league. Her ability to attract fans and generate excitement has brought fresh attention to women's basketball, something the WNBA has been striving for over the years. This captivating presence has attracted viewers who might not have previously followed the WNBA, marking a significant shift in the league's audience demographic. As more fans tune in to watch Clark play, the WNBA finds itself on the cusp of growth and renewed interest, making her impact even more profound. It's not just her on-court performance that makes Clark stand out.
Her value is felt every place she goes, every arena she goes. TV, ratings, value.
Sponsorship deals are also starting to flow in for the WNBA, and much of that is due to Clark's star power brands that may not have been interested in partnering with the league before, are now eager to get involved. Thanks to Clark's popularity, this increased sponsorship interest means more money for the league, which can be used to improve facilities, raise player salaries, and promote the game to a wider audience. People are beginning to view the WNBA as a league full of skilled, entertaining players, which is helping to shift the narrative surrounding the sport. Clark's ascension is also bringing in new fans who are enthusiastic about women's basketball. Clark's accomplishments demonstrate the enormous demand for women's sports, which is advancing the WNBA.
And wherever she goes, ratings follow. The WNBA draft, the doubleheader to open the NBA season. Ratings.
Wilson's dissatisfaction was evident in her public comments, and she made it clear that she felt like she deserved more recognition. This is a pivotal point in Wilson's career, and her next actions will determine how she is viewed going forward. Will she allow this situation to define her, or will she rise above it and demonstrate that she is still one of the best players in the league? We already know that Caitlyn is a huge star who can back it up on the court and is also a major marketing genius. Asia needs to accept this.
So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now. And this is just data. This is just objective facts. Be mad with data. Please do not be mad at me.
Wilson, for Asia, this shift may be frustrating, but for the WNBA as a whole, it's a positive development. The league is reaching new heights because to Clark's performance, which also opens chances for other players. It's just unfortunate that some players don't want to see Caitlyn's rise and don't understand what she's doing for the sport, while Wilson may feel sidelined for now. The overall impact of Clark's ascent is a success for women's sports. The WNBA is progressing thanks to Clark's ability to draw in new spectators and sponsorship deals, which is advantageous to all parties. If you liked it, please leave a like. Hopefully, gamers will soon realize Caitlyn's impact. Additionally, there are now more videos on the screen.